was wonderful to have Nicholas on the show again. He's such a magnificent teacher and healer, really. I've known him for years now. I met him through a collaboration I was doing with somebody else who was putting on some events here in Sydney, and I thought, let me check out this young man. I want to know more about him. I went to one of his talks up the road from me. He was doing some teaching and found out more about him, and we became instant friends. It's definitely a past life connection. Actually, as I tuned into him, I was telling my online tribe when he came and spoke to us, that first time I went to sort of check out his teachings and everything, as I tuned into him, I saw him in a future life in another planet, you know, as this magnificent being. It was sort of like a female essence, and behind this being I saw this magnificent city that was like in this future world. I don't know if it was Earth or another planet. Anyway, it seemed familiar to me. I thought maybe I live there too. So we probably know each other from the future more than the past. But we spoke about the Essenes today. I think we probably met there as well, being an Essene. It's fascinating, the Essenes. A lot of people talk about our history and the Essene, what the Essenes were, these different societies that were the protectors of spiritual knowledge and wisdom as we fell into darkness, some people call it, or less awareness of who we are as an extension of the source. And now, of course, the conscious community speaks about it, that we're remembering our latent, potent powers of creation, how powerful our thoughts are. We've been bipping along in this world for so many thousands of years, not understanding that our thoughts and our frequency and our feelings have potent effects on the physical manifestation of this world. And we're starting to remember this and get more deliberate in how we flow our energy, how we think, how we feel, what we intend, where we put our focus and attention. It's big teachings. Personally, I want to see it taught in every school. I want to see universities of consciousness evolution. I see a world where this education of how we remember who we are and how we direct our streams of consciousness, our focus, is the biggest education that we have. You know, for history's fine, geography's fine, maths, all that sort of stuff is great, but we're not taught how to direct our thoughts. We're taught to sort of look out into the world and get battered around by, oh, the war is terrible, oh, that's terrible. And we feel and think according to what is presented to us instead of being deliberate in what we choose to think and where we put our powerful focus and how we flow our energy. This was all taught in the mystery schools thousands of years ago, in the ancient mystery schools in Egypt. And this was the knowledge that was protected by the Essenes, even when they were burning witches and burning people for being heretics. And yeah, and it's resurfacing today. And I'm sure the people that are listening to this show and my shows are the teachers of it, are the people that are carrying that ancient wisdom, future wisdom, ancient wisdom. You know, time is more of a circular thing than a linear thing like we experience here on planet Earth. And what goes around comes around, right? We're going through these cyclical stages and it's all coming back. Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? And maybe we made commitments in past lives to return the knowledge, and that's what we're doing as we hold the knowledge in ourselves. And even as we just remember for us, our own personal growth, that we are psychic and we are powerful and we can travel anywhere. What did Einstein say? Logic will take you so far, imagination will take you anywhere. You can, astral travel and fly through the universe, and you don't need to take your body with you. You can just use your consciousness. I've had people on the show. Kevin Briggs is someone I had on the show. I've asked him to come back this year, probably towards the end of the year, who from birth, when he was a kid in the bath, he had his galactic guides show up. And then at 9, he had some activation that allowed him to have full conscious awareness of his powers of consciousness. So he could astral travel at will, leave his body at will, project his consciousness. He just had all this ability. And nobody else around him seemed to. So he didn't talk about it with anyone, but he had it all online. It was all online. He said that he'd walked to the end of the gate in his house when he was a kid, and he had 2 bus stops that he could go to for school. And he'd just project his consciousness and have a look at the bus stops and see which was the most crowded, and he'd go to the one that was less crowded so that he'd get on the bus. And then I think he said that when he was on the bus one day, he just left his body and he was flying behind the bus, the school bus, and sort of looking around, and his astral body flying. And then when he needed to get back in his body, jumped back in his body and went to school. Just love this. It's just fabulous. But it's all available to all of us through remembering these ancient wisdom teachings or these futuristic wisdom teachings. And, the ETs are reminding us, the angels are reminding us, our higher self are reminding us. It's all happening. I've got the cat here being very sweet. He's been very busy this morning, jumping around as I talk to Nick. Anyway, fun times. And remember to tune into the Higher Self Expo. I was just having a chat with Zane. We're just getting all the speakers organised now. I think we've got them, all the ones that can come and talk, booked in. It's going to be an exciting expo. It's going to be really fun. And Nicholas is one of our speakers. He might even be a co-host. We don't know. He's thinking about it because David, who was going to co-host with me, has work commitments. So I'm looking for a new co-host, an Australian, preferably male. Doesn't have to be male. But Nicholas is having a think about it, so he might be one of our co-hosts. Or not. I don't know. Wait and see. Big love to you all. And this week, I've spoken about it many times, Garnet is our guest teacher in the Inner Sanctum in a couple of days. It's going to be very exciting. I just love Garnet. He is just awesome. He's had amazing experiences too. He doesn't know how to leave his body at will. He does. He flies around the universe in his astral body and experiences amazing things. But he does it because his spirit guide comes and collects him. And so he's sort of under the tutelage of his spirit guide. I've never asked him if he could do it at will. I will this week in the Inner Sanctum. And I'm on every week talking about all this stuff, revealing this ancient wisdom, powers of creation, deliberate creation, how to focus your mind in a way that benefits you and the rest of humanity and enables you to manifest the life that you want. Yeah, how to be a potent power and force and source in this world. And remember to get the book, Awakened by Death. I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.